If you're turning 65 and covered by your spouse's health plan, don't automatically assume you can wait on Medicare. One detail about your spouse's employer can change who is supposed to pay first, and getting it wrong can mean higher cost for years. The question isn't when your spouse's coverage ends, it's whether that coverage counts. This is educational content, not personalized advice. Here's the fact: 20 employees. If your spouse works somewhere with 20 or more employees, their plan pays first and Medicare pays second, and you can delay signing up without any consequence at all. If their employer has fewer than 20, Medicare is supposed to pay first from the month you turn 65, whether you enrolled or not. That second situation is the one that costs money. The employer plan quietly becomes the secondary payer. Claims get processed as though Medicare already covered its share, and it didn't because nobody signed up. Ray and Susan are hypothetical, and so is every figure I'm going to use. Ray turned 65 in March. He's retired, but lives a healthy, active life. Susan is 62, still working at an architecture practice with 11 people. And Ray is on her plan. Ray does think about it. He gets the mail from Medicare, he reads it, and he decides he's covered. His wife works. He's on her insurance, and everyone he knows who's still working stayed off Medicare until they stopped. 11 is the number that decides his answer. He never asks it. There are 3 doors into Medicare, and they're open at different times. The first is your initial enrollment period, 7 months long, starting 3 months before the month you turn 65 and ending 3 months after. Everybody gets it. The second is the special enrollment period, and this is the one people are counting on when they delay. 8 months from when the employment or the coverage ends, but you only get it if the coverage qualified in the first place. Under 20 employees, it didn't. The third door is the general enrollment period, January through March, with coverage starting the month after you sign up. Ray's 7 months close in June. Susan keeps working, so nothing prompts him. 2 years go by. The penalty is the part everyone talks about. What almost happened to Ray in between is the part that would actually hurt. For 2 years, his wife's plan was only obliged to cover what Medicare didn't. Medicare wasn't covering anything because he hadn't signed up. The late penalty works differently from most things you'll pay the government. 10% of the standard Part B premium for every full 12-month period you could have enrolled and didn't. That standard premium is $202.90 a month this year. Ray's 2 years is 2 full periods, 20%, $40.58 a month added to his premium, and it stays there for as long as he has Part B. There's a smaller version on the drug coverage side, but it only applies if the plan you had wasn't as good as Medicare's. 1% of a national base premium for each month you delayed, which at 24 months is about $9.36 a month. About $50 a month is not a number that changes anyone's retirement. Ray's 2-year delay costs him about $487 a year, and the drug piece takes it roughly to $600. But it doesn't stop. Most mistakes like this cost you once. You pay, you learn, you move on. This one attaches to a bill Ray receives every month for the rest of his life, and it gets recalculated each year against a premium that keeps rising. There's a second cost, and it arrives all at once. Ray has a health savings account of his own. He's not employed, but he's covered by Susan's family plan, and that's what makes him eligible to contribute. The catch-up amount for anyone over 55 has to go into that person's own account, which is why he has one at all. He's been funding it. $8,750 is the family limit, plus $1,000 more for the catch-up. He likes the account. It's the one thing in their financial life he actually enjoys managing. Then in June of the 3rd year, he reads something about the 20-employee rule, calls Susan's office, and gets the number, 11. He enrolls that week. When you enroll in Part A, it can apply retroactively for up to 6 months, not before the month you turn 65, but up to 6 months back. Ray's coverage backdates to January. those 6 months of contributions weren't allowed. That's $4,875 sitting in an account that shouldn't have it. And the tax on excess contribution is 6% a year until it's corrected. $293, and the same again next year if he leaves it. So he's paying about $487 a year in penalty forever, and $293 once for contributions he was still making the week he picked up the phone. If you've been listening and thinking $50 a month isn't worth this much attention, that's a fair reading of the arithmetic. It's a small number. Across 25 years, it's somewhere around $12,000 to $15,000 in today's terms. And it's the least interesting thing in this video. 2 reasons it's worth the 10 minutes anyways. The first is that the penalty is the smallest of the 3 costs. The health savings account problem is larger in the year it lands. And for 2 years, Medicare should have been paying first on his claims and wasn't because he hadn't enrolled. That has no ceiling because it isn't a surcharge, it's exposure. The second is that all 3 come from one question with a one-word answer. How many people work there? That's a phone call to a benefits office, and it either clears you completely or it tells you to enroll on schedule. Ray made that call in June of the 3rd year. It took him 4 minutes. The difference isn't the quality of the plan or what you pay for it or how long your spouse intends to keep working. It's the size of the employer providing it. 20 or more and you can wait. Fewer than 20 and Medicare expects to be paying first from the month you turn 65. So the question worth sitting with isn't when your spouse plans to retire. It's whether anyone has ever told you how many people work where they work. If you give to charity every year and you're anywhere near 70, the next one covers a rule that opens before your required withdrawals do. And most people find it years.